Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome. So today we'll be making the beautiful BUBU dress in the thumbnail, as you can see, and I'll be using this African print. So right here we have 4 openings, 2, 3, 4, and then on this side we have 2 folded edges. So the part where it crosses, to make it a double fold, is where I'll be starting my measurements from. So this is a BUBU dress and it's free. It's almost a one size fits all, depending on how fitted or how free the person wants it. So let's get right into it. So what I'll be using for this tutorial is the ruler, my tape rule, my scissors, and then chalk. You see, there's not too much drama, it's just pretty simple. So the first thing I want to do is take my vertical measurements. So like I said earlier, it's a very long dress and it will be going for 60 inches in length. So I have marked my 60 inches length up to this point, and then I added, so this is where my 60 inches length is for them. I'm not sure if you guys can see, but that's what it is. And I added about 1.5 inch to fold it at the hem line once the dress is done. So this is going to come like this. So yeah, let's go ahead and make our markings. So the first thing I want to mark right out is my waist measurement, or rather the waist measurements that I'll be working with, which is 17 inches. But because of the style, we wouldn't want it to be fitted along this side, so you can as well do 18, 19. It's not like you need the measurement anyway, it's just a guide. So right here I'll pick 18 inches for the waist, then for the hip 26 inches. These are the vertical measurements, by the way. Then for the knee, that's from shoulder to knee, is 38 inches. And then lastly, the 60 inches length that I said I'll be taking the measurements here. So I'm just going to rule it out now, because we'll be needing all these points to make our cut easy. Hip line and then the waist line. So at this line, don't forget we have these 2 folded edges here, so it will serve as one for the front, one for the back. So because it is off shoulder, we do not need to separate the neckline as such as you would for a normal BUBU dress that you don't want the back to be as low. So we'll get there once I get to the neckline part. So first things for the horizontal measurement, we'll be taking the shoulder measurement, which is 15 inches divided by 2, that's 7.5. And then from this 7.5, yeah, I'm going to come down by 1.5 inches. So that would serve as the slope. And then I'll connect it to the 7.5 that I have there. This is just to allow the sleeve area to fall freely. So now that we have that, it's a COWL BUBU. So from this place, I'm going to determine how tight I want the lower part to be, or how free I want the lower part to be. So like I said earlier, we'll not be using the waistline, neither would we be using the hip line, but it would hip measurements rather, but it would serve as a guide to make a turning so that we can cut through the knee measurement. So what I'll basically be running on is the knee measurement, and here for the roundness of the knee, just so it's going to be free. And again, I want to add an opening to the dress, so I'm going to be picking 11 inches, and this, if you open it up, multiply by 4, that's 44, and that's fair enough for any size person to walk in, because it's going to be going from the knee all the way to the floor length or the dress length. So I'm going to pick the same 11 inches on this part as well. I hope you guys can see. And then I'm going to join these together first. So just like I have joined that together, now I'm going to come to this part where the shoulder slope is, and I'm going to connect it in such a way that it would form a cowl, and then I'll connect it to this marked line on the knee length. So this is really easy. So now I don't want this sharp end here, so I'm just going to go in deeper with the curve such that, yeah, so now I have this here. Then I'm going to consider 1 inch sewing allowance at this end, so I'm going to mark out 1 inch, just like I have gone in by 1.5 inch here on the knee length. I'm going to mark out 1 inch because, like I said, it's going to have an opening, and I'm going to be sewing that 1 inch as the sewing guide, and then to give it the opening that I so desire, so that way we don't have to tamper with our original 11 inches width that we have given to the dress. So I'm just going to curve this like this, and then it goes all the way down. So now I can go ahead and cut this out. You can see it rolls all the way down, and then this is just about what is left from the knee part, and this is for the front, this is for the back. So now I'm going to cut out the shoulder slope area. From that 7.5 inch that I marked earlier as the shoulder, this is just to allow the dress to fall free, to be honest. There's really no need for it. So here, don't forget we have the 7.5 inches here. So now the round circumference of this off shoulder dress is going to be 44, and for me to get that 44 here, I'm going to divide it by 4, and then I have 11 inches. So I'm going to determine how low I want it to be off the shoulder for the dress. So I'm from this nip here, I'll go down by 6 inches. Depending on how low you want it, you can go down by 6, 7, 8, depending on how low you want it to be. So I'm going to go down by 6 inches, and I'll just, sorry about that, I'm just going to mark that 6 inches like so, and then I'll form a curve. But this curve isn't the final curve, just so it's it doesn't go way too wide. So I'm going to measure up till when I get 11 inches. So 9, oh perfect. So I got exactly 11 inches, just like I wanted. I went down by 6 inches, and then I went into circle off by 11 inches. So this is for the front and this is for the back. Now I'll go on and cut this out. And then this is what I have. Such a circle. So now the cutting is pretty much done, and lest I forget, remember I said it's going to have an opening at the lower parts. So from this 16 inches that I marked here, away from the 1.5 inch extra that I'm going to use to bend it inwards, I'm going to measure 10 inches. So I want the opening to be at least 10 inches. So this is where the 1 inch sewing allowance that I added in the beginning at this lower part comes in. So I'm going to notch this area. I'll slit it open like that, just a notch to indicate where my sewing would end. So I would, but then don't forget, we cut both back and front on fold. So I'm going to notch the center like this, and then I would open up both front and the back. Oops, this did cut out. Now for this kind of prints, it might get confusing in the end by the time you want to sew. So I'm going to use chalk to note both the back, like the other side of the fabric, the wrong side of the fabric, just to be on the safe side, so we don't end up sewing the front as the inner side. So when you open up like so, I'm going to merge right side facing right side, if you can see, this is the notch that I did here. So we'll leave the neckline area, and then I'll go ahead and join the shoulder like so. Before I opened up, I forgot to mention, for the sleeve for the sleeve that is going to fall at the off shoulder. So after joining the shoulder area, I'm going to leave an opening of about 14 inches, depending on how much of gathering you want to have at the side, at the sleeve end side. So I'm just going to leave an opening of about 14 to 15 inches. You can do up to 18 inches actually, but I mean, for it not to be too much, I'm just going to come down by half an inch after sewing there for the shoulder part, and then I can just pick. So from that side to 14 inches, I would leave it open because we are going to be gathering it to form the sleeve end. So now I can now sew the other parts. That's the lower part of the dress where the cowl is going to form, and then I'll sew it all the way to the part that we notched earlier for the opening at the leg side. So let's go and sew. I've gone ahead to sew all the way around like I said I would, and this is what we have right now. So we've gone all the way around. For the hand, like I said earlier, I'm going to be gathering this to the size of somewhere around here. So I'm going to gather it such that when it is worn, there's a gathering here, and then this turns out to be the off shoulder part like this. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to cut out the gathering, the material that I'm going to gather on for the wrist. I'm going to measure here now. So we have, okay, so this is 5.5, and then I said I need 10 inches long around here. So I'm going to add 2 inches extra because I'm going to join it directly. I'm not going to be doing any overlapping sewing because a serger will still be used to close it up properly. So I'm just going to mark the 12 inches here, and then I'll cut through. So I'll be sewing on the right side. I won't be turning it out the other way. So I'll sew on the right side here like this, and then I'll fold it this way because I won't be adding any air stay, paper stay, what kind of stay to it. The fabric is thick enough. And then I'm going to sew at this end too on the inside. So I'll turn it and then I'll gather this place around it. So this is what we're going to have, something ruched like this, somewhere around here, and then we'll now deal with the neck. So guys, this is it. I have a gathered sleeve here, and then it goes this way, and then this opening here as well. So now we're just going to cut for our off shoulder sleeve such that it's going to be looking, and then I'll be cutting 2 pieces of this. The shoulder is usually bent at the upper part, so I'm going to shape it in such a way that this side will be bent and then it will grip very well up there. A little stretchy. So now we can see the curve here. This would grip very well at that end, and then we would join. So I'm just going to pick this, open up like this, and then join the 2 sides. With a 1/4 of an inch, like this, and then we'll turn it inwards, and we'll sew this side round, because by that time it will become a circle. We'll sew this round, and then we'll attach it to the dress. And here is the finished look of this project, looking so beautiful, simple, nice. It's something you can wear to church, rock on a Friday, just look simple and nice with it. If this video has inspired you in any way, please kindly give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.